So where do I even start? I love it here. I really do. But there are some things I don't love, and I'm just going to be honest with you about all of it. Hey, welcome back to Boulder County Living. I'm Lenny, and if you found this channel, it's probably because you're thinking about moving to Boulder County, or you already live here and you're curious what a long-timer like me thinks. Today I want to give you that real, unfiltered version of what it's actually like to live here, because I haven't been here 2 years. I haven't been here 5 years. I've lived in Boulder County for decades. So I think that gives me a different lens than a lot of the moving to Boulder content you'll find out there on the internet. Chapter 1, what's actually happening here? So where do I start? Do I still like it? I do, I love it. But there are some things that I don't enjoy about it. And I'm gonna be honest with you about those too, because I think that honesty is actually more useful to you than me just selling you on the place. Here's the first thing I want you to understand about Boulder County before anything else. Almost nobody here is actually from here. Colorado, as a whole, is one of the least native states in the country. Only about 4 in 10 people living in Colorado today were actually born here. And that number has held pretty steady for decades. Boulder County skews even more transplant heavy than that statewide number, because you've got CU Boulder pulling in students and faculty from everywhere. You've got the tech and aerospace companies recruiting nationally, and you've got people who visited once on a ski trip and just never left. So if you move here and it takes you a minute to find your people, that is not a you problem. That is just the nature of a county where the overwhelming majority of your neighbors also moved here from somewhere else. Chapter 2, being honest. I also want to be honest about the parts that are genuinely hard. Boulder in particular can feel a little insular at first. There's a running joke that everyone here is either training for something, healing from something, or founding a startup. And honestly, that joke exists for a reason. People are busy. People are goal-oriented. And that can make it feel like it takes longer than it should to actually break into a friend group, especially if you're used to a place where neighbors just show up on your porch. I don't say that to scare you off. I say it because I believe in being honest with yourself and with you. The good news is that once you do find your people here, the relationships tend to be real. This isn't a superficial, status-driven place. It's a place full of people who care about their health, their time outdoors, and their community. And once you're plugged in, it's a genuinely wonderful place to build a life. But you do have to do some of the plugging in yourself. Nobody's gonna just hand you a friend group. More on exactly how to do that in a few minutes. Chapter 3, the cost of living. Let's talk about the big question everyone asks me. What does it actually cost to live here? Rent has gone up a lot over the years that I've been here. There's no sugarcoating that. Right now, a 1-bedroom apartment in the city of Boulder itself runs somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,900 to $2,400 a month, depending on the neighborhood and the building, with 2 bedrooms often landing closer to $2,400 to $2,800. Boulder consistently sits well above the national average rent, sometimes 20 to 30% higher. Here's the part that surprises people though. Those numbers have actually softened a little bit over the past year or so, and the neighborhood you choose matters enormously. Areas like University Hill, Newlands, and some of the neighborhoods further from the core, plus towns like Lafayette, Louisville, Longmont, and Lyons, just outside the city, can be significantly more affordable while still putting you a short drive from everything Boulder proper has to offer. So yes, the rent has gone up a lot. But if you're willing to widen your search a little and work with someone who actually knows the local market, like me, you can absolutely find something that fits your budget. Thinking about relocating to the Boulder-Denver area? Well, I've got just the thing for you. My team and I have actually taken the time to create the ultimate relocation guide, which is meant to save you hours of research. And I've linked it down below. From top employers, the best hospitals, and a boatload of other things that you need to know before making the move. The best part is that this guide is 100% free. That's right, you heard me, 100% free. Just click the link in the description or the top pinned comment. Hope that helps. Chapter 4, shifting your perspective. I'm a big believer that what we focus on shapes our reality. So I try not to only talk about the expensive parts. If you're serious about moving here, I highly recommend working with a local realtor because they know about listings and neighborhoods you'll never find scrolling on an app on your own. There are genuine deals out there if you're open to a slightly different neighborhood, a slightly older building, or a slightly longer commute in exchange for a much bigger backyard, a mountain view, or actual proximity to a trailhead. Something else I want to share honestly, things move a little slower here than in a lot of other places. New restaurants take a while to open. Permits take a while to clear. If you're coming from a city that moves fast, this can feel frustrating at first, but I've come to see it as a part of the trade-off. This is a place that moves at the pace of the mountains, not the pace of a downtown high-rise. And once you accept that, it stops being annoying and starts being kind of nice. Chapter 5, finding your people. Okay, this is the part I really want you to pay attention to because I think it's the single most important thing I can tell you if you're moving here. Since so few of us are actually from here, the entire social fabric of this county runs on clubs, classes, and group activities. If you wait around for a community to come find you, you will wait a long time. But if you show up to the right things, you will meet people almost immediately because everybody here showed up the exact same way you're about to. If you're into fitness, running is basically a religion in Boulder County, and there's a running group for absolutely every pace and personality. The Boulder Runners Club have been around since the 70s and welcome everyone from total beginners to serious competitors. There's the Boulder Women's Running Club if you're looking for an all-women's group. There's Running for Brews if you want your run to end with a cold one and good conversation. There are trail groups, track groups, and run clubs out of nearly every running shoe store in town. If you prefer walking or hiking, Boulder Ramblers and Boulder Social Hikers host free group walks and hikes multiple times a week, specifically so that newcomers have an easy, low-pressure way to meet people. If cycling's more your speed, the Boulder Cycling Club and several bike shops run weekly group rides all summer long. If you're more into the arts or something a little more holistic, Boulder County has a genuinely thriving, creative, and wellness scene. North Boulder's Art District hosts a First Friday Art Walk every single month where dozens of artist studios and galleries open their doors. And downtown Boulder runs its own First Friday Art Walk along Pearl Street with galleries, live music, and open studios. If meditation or mindfulness is more your thing, there are meditation studios and yoga communities scattered all over the county, plus regular guided meditation and mindfulness events open to the public. This is a deeply health-conscious, deeply artsy community, and both of those worlds have built-in ways for a total stranger to walk in the door and leave with new friends. My advice is simple. Figure out what you already love to do, and then go find that version of that thing that already exists right here. You love yoga? Find a studio and go to the same class every week until the same faces start saying hello. You love live music? Show up to First Friday. You love a hard run before sunrise? There is absolutely a group doing exactly that thing this week. This is common sense, honestly. No matter when you move, you will meet people who are like-minded by going where like-minded people already gather. In a county full of transplants, that's just not a nice idea. It's basically the whole system. Hey guys, it's Lenny Mayoko. As much as I love making these videos, there is one thing I love more, and that's helping families and people from all over the US and the world make the move here to the Boulder-Denver area. I've helped countless families make the move. So whether you're coming out next week, next month, or even next year, don't hesitate to reach out. My contact information is right here on the screen and linked in the description in case you missed the on-screen pop-up. I look forward to helping you and your family make the move to the Boulder-Denver area. All right, chapter 6, would I recommend it? So would I recommend moving to Boulder County? If you feel like you have a calling to come here, then yes, I recommend it. But before you make the leap, Sit down with yourself and really ask why you want to move here. If you don't have a clear answer yet, that's okay. Feel it out a little more. I've always believed that feeling matters more than overthinking. Thinking can talk you out of almost anything. Feeling tends to tell you the truth. If moving here feels right in your gut, that is a valid enough reason to make the change. I've learned an enormous amount about myself over the decades I've lived here. I've watched this county grow. I've watched neighborhoods change. I've watched thousands of people just like you show up, not knowing a soul, and build entire lives. And almost every single one of them will tell you the same thing that I'm telling you. The hardest part is just showing up to that first class, that first group run, that first art walk. After that, it gets easy. I hope this was helpful. I know some of this might have sounded like a lot, so let me leave you with the short version. Yes, it's expensive. Yes, almost nobody here is actually from here. And yes, it takes a little effort to find your people, but the trails are unbelievable. The community that is here is genuine once you find it, and I would not have spent decades of my life anywhere else. If you're thinking about making the move, I want to know where you're moving from. So drop that in the comments below. And if this was useful, go ahead and subscribe, because I've got a lot more coming on specific neighborhoods, specific costs, and exactly what's changing in Boulder County this year. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.